Hey people, this is Mr. UV, aka Mr. Ultraviolet, and in this video, Naruto Ninja Awakening, I will be covering some updated type of things, and I do have some good news at the end of the video, so stay forward. Alright, so as you can see already on screen, there is a couple things that have changed with my account. Now I will say this first, let's just get into it. There will be a new event coming soon for around the people on my server, on server 52. So if you're around 52, 53 to maybe like 40, maybe 8, 45, around roughly there, you will be getting Moo. Alright, he will be coming in a spin event, so you could get him for roughly around 9 to 12,000 gold. Maybe less, depending on how lucky you are, how many 40 drops you get, or if you land on the gold and get your gold back, you know, throw in maybe 5, land on gold, gets maybe 4, 6 back. Depends on you. Now, I have been getting questions on this tail beast attack thing right here, this group, you know, Megazord type bullcrap. People ask me, why is it always beating? When I log on to the game, I can never do it, whatever have you. Now, the beast does come back every day, full health, 100%, right? Whenever server reset happens for you. The problem with it is, for the first couple of levels, as you can see on the screen right now, in my server right here, they're at level 8. So, for like the first couple of levels, in the first days since the new update, I was in the same predicament as you. I couldn't even, you know, fight it or even look at it, right? Because it was always beating. It's because the boss was so weak at those first levels that it was only taking maybe, I think the first 2 levels, one person was beating it. Then it was like 2 people. Then it was like 3, and now we're at level 8, and it's 8 people that took to beat it. You know, so basically either you're gonna have to get on the game when everything resets, and you got to be one of those first people to, you know, put some damage on it, until the level difficulty gets harder, that it requires more people to actually participate. Because right now, at the first couple of levels, the boss is going to be so easy that people can one-shot it. That's what's happening. That's why you can't do it. All right. So I would check probably maybe like 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 p.m., and maybe 12. All right. Check those times. Definitely start with 8 o'clock. Set an alarm if you can. If you're not doing anything or whatever. Or just check in, log in, and see if the server has been updated and you're able to even look in there and see the boss for full health or whatever, or if it's still alive. And if you do see it and it's not a full health but it's still alive, maybe gauge it back an hour. Maybe check at 7 o'clock the next day, or like, you know, 6 or 7:30, you know, to try to figure out when it actually shows for you. Now we can go in here and we can look at the rewards. Now the rewards, they look good, but they're really not too crazy. All right, the group ranking rewards, I always log in and get to 300, because my group, my server, they're out here one-shotting it 100%. They're completing this every day, so I'm getting, you know, the #1 rewards every day I log in. That's 300 gold for me. That's the reason why I have so much gold, 30,000 right now. Haven't spent any money, all saving. All right, so I would say this: the personal rewards that you do get, they look good, but they're when you start looking at the numbers, they're not anything to go crazy for you to really lose sleep over. All right, the top you know, #1 spot, you're getting 8 Shards. All right, you're getting 50 of those little purple books or whatever for your hero, and the universal crystal, you get 8, and you get 1,000,000 of the bronze coins. All right, so they look pretty good, but you have to remember that it does require a bare minimum of 120 shards to rank a person up to the next star level. So for you to get a 4-star character and take them to 5, it's going to cost you 120 shards. So, you know, that's a far cry from getting even 8, which is #1 on the list. All right, so it will take you a while to even be any of those rewards will be useful for you. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. All right, just try to get in there if you can. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next thing that I will bring up. All right, now once again, people may ask me about this partner shop. I'm gonna give you my honest review on it. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's 100% a waste of time. All right, I've never done it ever before, and I won't, because I value what you gain from just sitting on character shards. All right, The more character shards you get, the farther along you can level up your roster and your group power. Alright? If you're selling character shards just to get other character shards, you can easily get in the summons tab and just pull for them. You're limited in how much group power you'll be able to, get. Because you do get power, based off of every character, not just your main team. So keep that in mind. If you look at these rewards, look at what they're asking you. 40,000 for the number 1 ninja tool. Alright? Yeah, it might sound good to be able to get that ninja tool, but at the same time, 40,000 is way too much. It's way too much. 16,000 of the resources to get a character. You can benefit more from, saving these characters and taking them to the higher star levels. Whether it's 5, 6, 7, 10, or what have you. You benefit more. Alright? So what I'm saying is, like, when you go into gallery, you see how when you level up a character, you level the star up on them, and you get more group power. As you can see at the top stat, you get more HP and more damage. Right here where I'm clicking, you're getting more HP and more damage. That's for your group collective power. Those stats enhance every character on your team. So why would you, potentially degrade the amount of shards you can get that can take you to that next level by selling them just to sit on those resources for maybe a week, a month, just so you can unlock one legendary ninja tool or one legendary jade? It's not worth it. Alright, it's not worth it in my opinion. And for all the people that say, well, you spend money so you're able to get legendary characters or S-rank characters, all you gotta do is save your pools and just go in. Those characters in your pools is also in the advanced summons and in the common summons. Alright, so let's get into something else. A lot of people been asking me about these ninja tools. This is how you shoot your power up. And look what I've done. Look at all my characters. They all have epic ninja tools on them. Alright? They all have epic ninja tools on them. And I could level up the level on it higher if I would actually sit down and do the adventure of it. But because the game be glitching, I be skipping it. Now look at my items. You see my whole squad had it. Look at all these I got. I still got 4 sitting inside my inventory. Alright? I still got 6 inside, 6 purple ones. Actually 10, because 6 of them is random and 4 of them I can pick. And then I can pick from 4 epic ones. The reason why I have so many of those is because I got them from the spin event. So for all the people that were saying, skip the spin event, skip the spin events, they suck. Skip KCM Naruto, he sucks. Blase blah. That's how I got all these. I ain't buy them, I ain't spend money on them. I got them for the events. That's what I was saying in my videos. Even if you wasn't getting the characters, you were still getting resources that will help and benefit your account. That's why I recommended these things. Alright? And I don't wail out that hard. I wailed out one time. Alright? One time. On my 3rd or 4th day. And took advantage of the fortune cat. And capitalized on that gold. Flipped it about 3 times over. And I sat on all that gold until I got my full roster that I have. And now I've been sitting on gold and stacked it back to 30,000. Alright? But like I was saying, those ninja tools, next spin event, you might want to go ahead and try to get up in there. They gonna boost your group power. Now there's a couple things in here that can boost your group power. One, like I said, collecting characters. As you can see right here, these boost your group power. Alright? And there's a couple other things in here that can boost your group power. Like I said, ninja tools are sending through the roof. The amount that they boost your power is ridiculous. Alright? And you also can get ninja tools and items and stuff from the pools or summons or whatever. But here's another thing that I think a lot of people miss out on that boosts your group power. Alright? If you look at the top left hand corner, it says the 3 million hero power. If you look, we click through everybody, that number doesn't change. Because everybody has a group 3 million. All my characters have the same amount of power, battle power, but their specific stats, like on this list, are different. As you can see, Sasuke has less health than Naruto. My Sasuke has less health than Naruto, but my Sasuke did more damage than my Naruto KCM. You look at the stats. Even though Naruto was an S-rank character. Alright? So their specific stats, they're both 5-star. The specific stats will be different. But their group stats are, collective stats are the same. All of them is going to say 3 mil. Alright? So what I recommend is going in here. If you have extra resources that you don't need, start leveling them up. Level up the characters even that you're not even using. Alright? Like Sakura, I'm not using her, right? Not at all. But I have a whole bunch of these purple books. So I'm going to go ahead and blow them, right? Because right now, I can't take up my Sasuke or my Naruto until I hit level 80. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and level her up. Now, you can go ahead and level up the character you think is best. Alright? Like you can see right here, like I said, level 80. I can't take him up no higher. I got the resources to take him up to the next level, but I can't do it, him or my KCM, until I hit level 80 for my account, So, what I'm going to go ahead and do, the next character that I will use is my Naruto Shippuden. Go ahead and max him out and go as far as I can. This is going to increase the specific stats of the hero, as well as increase my group power. As you can see, my group account power, 9 million. I think I started the video maybe at 9.3, or it could have been 9.4 and some change. But regardless, it went up every time I leveled up my Naruto Shippuden and my Sakura. So that's how another way you can level up your account and gain extra power for all of your characters, your partners, your heroes, and everybody. So go ahead and just max them out. You got the resources to do it, go ahead and do it. You're not wasting anything. It's going to be a minute before I hit level 80. Alright? It's going to be a minute, maybe a week, maybe 2. Alright? And don't forget the Magatamas. Yeah, level those up as well. Don't just always do the rank up with the purple books. Level up your Magatamas. That also gives you power as well. Alright? Now, I'm going to talk about something I talk about all the time. Alright? And it's gold. Now, if you look at this new event they have for me on my server right here, right? They're giving away ultra rare gear choice. Basically, you can choose one of legendary gear. So basically, the number one person gets to choose 2 legendary gear. They give you some hammers and some refined runes, right? Refined runes. Basically, the level of your hero. So that's what that does, right? But if you look at the numbers that they're getting for 1, 2, 3, right? This is how this game does. They release events like this to bait out you to spend gold. They want you to spend all your gold before they drop something that you actually need, or something that's actually good. If you look right here, the number one person, and this is no hate towards the people that's in my server that I'm showing as examples, but I'm just saying it. This is a perfect example on how this game is set up to get money. This guy right here, number 1, he already spent 6,000 gold to get that. Next person, 3,000 gold, right? This is day 1. I guarantee probably by the time this ends, that number 1 slot person is probably even going to spend roughly around 8,000 to 10,000 gold. And the next person is going to be shortly under it. All right. Now, if you look at the amount of gold that these people are spending, that's half the amount of gold required for a limited time summon character, someone like Minato, Tsunade. All right. That's costing half. All right. It costs about 20 to 24 to unlock them, guaranteed, right? They're spending half of it. That's also a guarantee unlock for a spin event, and they already spent it. Now, if you look at all the people, all the slots under it, you're barely getting anything. You're barely getting any good rewards. Only really the top 5 people is getting anything. All right, so they're baiting you to basically compete amongst the people on your server to see who can spend the most gold to get nothing out of it. And people are gonna do it, guaranteed. And something you always have to remember is that there's always gonna be somebody willing to spend more gold than you. You know why? Because they're buying it. That's the whole point of whales and krakens. There's always gonna be somebody who's gonna be able to whale out more than you. Always. I didn't buy this 30k gold that you see up there. That's all from saving. I skipped the last 2 banners. I skipped the banner that was the regular advanced summons banner. I skipped the third Raikage, and I skipped Darui. Skipped all 3 of those. That's how I have 30k gold. Alright? And this is why I have the squad I have now. From planning. You just save and then you plan who you're gonna get and then you execute. That's what you do. They're gonna sit there and put out events that I just showed you. Like the event I just showed you to make you spend all your gold on this. Get nothing out of it. Because only the really top 5 people is gonna get anything of worth. And then after that event ends, they're gonna drop a character like Mu, who's probably gonna be the next character in my server, or somebody else, like maybe second Hokage, Tommy Rama. That's how they do. They set out trash events like this to make you spend because you think, oh, I gotta get the #1 spot. You're not even looking at what it's gonna take to get the character. You're looking at, oh, what you're gonna get, what you can possibly get. Don't fall for the trick. Alright, so let's get into something more positive. The silver lining. Sasuke Susanoo, or whatever way you want to pronounce it, whatever. Alright? You can get him in the game. As you can see right there, when I hit source, it said you can get him from events. I have found a way that you can get him outside of the events. And I have proof. Alright? I have actually proof. How can you get him? You can get him from the first thing that you unlock in the game. Story. You can actually get them from the story mode. Now, the mission, there is a couple requirements for you to be able to unlock this character. But there is hope, alright? Now, the mission that you will be able to unlock them for is it's the Snake Sloth one, alright? There's a couple requirements. You will have to be, first off, level 104. Alright, let me just go ahead and pull up the actual mission first. Alright, so this is the mission that you have to be at. This is the normal one. Right here, right? This is the one that I'm at. But you have to be at it at boss mode. Okay? On boss mode. So you have to go through, the main. Then you have to either meet the requirements for, the elite version. Or if you already made the requirements for boss, you can skip the elite version and go smack to the boss. Version of it. But it is this one right here where I'm clicking, the Den of Snake one. You have to get there. And like I said, there are requirements for you to unlock this character. Alright? I will say this though. Boss mode and elite are only bosses. That is the silver lining in it. But here's the proof right here. This is a screenshot. Alright? Of a person that made it to the mission. Alright? As you can see, one of the rewards is shards for Sasuke Susanoo. That's Sasuke Susanoo right there. And if you look on the left, you can see the mission. It's the Snake Sloth Drain or whatever. The same mission I'm showing you. If you also look in the background, it got the purple tint, so that's letting you know that it's at the boss version. The hardest version you get to in the game. Also, you can just tell from like the power requirements. So let's just look at the screen. It's requiring you to be at the level requirement is 104. So you only can access this mission if you're at level 104. Alright, and the recommended power for it is 56 million. This guy right here, he ended up beating it with a 33 million team. Alright, so he did punch up. His team was weaker than the game recommended him to use, but I don't know the team that he brung in. 9 times out of 10, he probably brings some of the best characters in there to be able to beat that. Alright, so you first have to be at level 104. You have to be this far in the story, up at least to level chapter 17 on normal and at least elite. I'll say boss, because you can skip elite. Alright, as you can see, I'm only at 9 million. Alright, I make content for this game, but I'm not the strongest person in this game. It will take me even some time to even hit that point. I'm at 71. It will be a minute before I hit level 104. If you've been playing this game, I'm on server 52. If you've been playing longer than me, any server prior to 52, you should be roughly around level 100 or close. So people that have been playing the game longer, which is this player right here that posted the screenshot, he's been playing longer than me, which is why he's further along in the game level wise. All right, and obviously power as well, 33 million. Okay, so the silver lining is that you can unlock Susanoo Sasuke without spending any money, just from playing the game. The first thing you unlock, story mode. Now the funny thing is that when you click his sources, it is not listed in story, which is kind of crazy. And so I'm guessing maybe a lot of this stuff in the game is misleading. Like, I'm not sure if Sakura was able to be gained from the story as well. She could have been before Sasuke, and maybe the guy that posted the picture, he didn't care about Sakura, so he just, didn't post a picture of that. He cared about Sasuke and he posted that. So I'm not sure. As you seen right there, Sakura, her sources doesn't show it, right? Just like this mount right here, it says in the VIP, but it's not in the VIP. They took it out. All right, they took it out early on too, so I don't know what's going on with the sources, releases, methods of some of this stuff in the game. It can be misleading. For all we know, that maybe Toby Rama or Martyr might come in as a, what is it called, season pass character. They might end up being the next season pass character, because I've beaten the season pass on my server maybe it was definitely weeks ago, maybe even a month. It was right there. It doesn't show up anymore. So I don't know when the next season pass is coming out. I don't know who the next character is going to be. It could be one of them. It could be Hashirama. I don't know. It could be 6PF Naruto. I don't know. All right, because the sources can be misleading. I have hard proof that I just provided right there that you can get Sasuke Susanoo in the story mode, even though it's not on his source list. All right, I've been Mr. UV, and I'll see you in the next one.